The birth of Moses. Life was going badly for the Israelites in the land of Egypt. A new pharaoh was in charge, and he thought Egypt had way too many Israelite people. What if they became powerful and wanted to take over? Pharaoh ordered his followers, the Egyptians, to enslave the Israelites. Work! Work harder! The Egyptian leaders ordered the Israelites. Under the burning sun, the Israelites made bricks and cement to hold the bricks together and worked in the fields. But Pharaoh was still angry and worried. There were still too many Israelites, he thought. He called in the Israelite midwives, Hebrew women who helped other women have babies. Look, he said, when you help an Israelite woman have a baby, look and see if it's a boy or a girl. If it's a girl, let her live. But if it's a boy, get rid of him. The midwives looked at each other with wide eyes. Then they looked back at Pharaoh and nodded. Yes, Pharaoh, they said. But the Jewish midwives did not listen to Pharaoh. They refused to harm the boy babies. And when Pharaoh found out, he called them to him. Why have you done this thing, letting the boys live? He asked them. Well, Pharaoh, you see, the Hebrew women are so strong. By the time we arrive, they've already given birth, so there's been nothing we could do. Pharaoh slammed his hand down. I'll have to do something else instead, he shouted, and he sent out a message to all his people. Every boy that is born, you shall throw him into the Nile River, the message said. Sometime later, an Israelite man and an Israelite woman got married and had a baby girl, and then later, another baby, a boy. This boy was so beautiful, his mother thought when she saw him. She could never, ever let any harm come to him. So, for 3 months, she hid him from Pharaoh's followers. Finally, the woman knew she had to make a plan. She couldn't keep her baby hidden forever. She had to let him go and hope that a kind Egyptian might find him. Perhaps they would take care of him. The woman found a wicker basket that was just the right size for a baby. She made the bottom waterproof so it could float. She put her baby inside, kissed his face, and closed the basket lid. With her older daughter, she took the baby and the basket down to the Nile River. Gently, she placed the basket among the reeds, floating in the water by the riverbanks. Crying, she left. But her daughter, that tiny baby sister, stayed by the river. She wanted to see what would happen, so she hid and watched. Soon, she saw one of Pharaoh's daughters, a princess, come down to the river to take a bath. The princess saw the basket floating in the water. Something was crying inside. When the princess opened the basket lid, she gasped. A baby boy! She said. She looked again at the baby. She could never hurt him or any other person. Then, the baby's sister tiptoed forward. Hello, she said. I can help, I think. Would you like me to find a Hebrew woman to help you with this baby? Oh, yes, thank you, the princess said. The baby's sister ran home as fast as she could. She had to get her mother. Mother! She shouted, bursting into the house. Listen to what happened! As quickly as she could, she explained about the Pharaoh's daughter. Come with me, but don't say you're his mother, just that you'll help the princess take care of him. Together, they ran back to the river. The princess held the baby out to the woman. If you take this baby and take care of him, I will pay you, the princess said. And please, tell me how he is doing. I've only known him for a short time, but I already feel like he is my son. She hugged the baby and then handed him to the mother, not knowing who she truly was. The mother and the daughter and the baby went home. A few years passed, and the baby grew big and strong. Finally, the mother took the baby to Pharaoh's daughter. She made him her son and named him Moses. He would grow up as an Egyptian prince, and one day, he would lead all the Hebrew people out of Egypt to freedom. You likely tell that story every Passover as you sit at your Seder table with your family.
This episode was written by Emma Carlson Burnett, narrated by Percy Blythe, and produced by Ali Thresher. Our music is licensed by Epidemic Sound. For full credits, please go to pjlibrary.org/podcast.